What is up, guys? I'm back again with another LEGO Transformer. This time it is my LEGO G1 Bumblebee version 2. So since I've been updating all my Transformers, I figured this guy could have used an update more than any of them. Looking back at the original, there was a lot left to be desired. First of all, it didn't really look like a car. There wasn't an actual windshield or anything like that. And there was just studs everywhere. And the robot mode looked way too chubby and just bland. There was no character at all. It was just dull, and I wanted to fix that. I had been trying to come up with a new design for this guy for a couple of years now, and I hadn't been able to find anything that worked. This guy kind of has a weird transformation, and it's kind of difficult to execute in this scale. But I finally found this design. I went on YouTube and I looked up some other LEGO Bumblebees that were out there to try and get some inspiration. I found one by a user named Joshua Cooper. He built a really nice looking Bumblebee, and I got lots of inspiration for that. And I put it into this guy. I didn't want to copy the figure, but I just liked some of the techniques he used, and I wanted to put that into my own style and see what I could do with that. And now we have this guy. You can see he actually has the windshield now and some windows going along the side. There are some gaps in between there because it's on some hinges to give it that angle. But that's alright. It's black, you're not going to really see it for the most part. And I think it looks alright. He's all tiled now, which is nice. There are a couple studs like right here. I couldn't really plug those up because of the transformation. But it's not too bad. One of the things that kind of bothers me, he looks really clean up here, and then towards the back it gets a little messy. I did try one or two things to fix that, but it just didn't work in the robot mode. So I did what I could to make it somewhat streamlined. This is the head. It doesn't really have a place to hide. But, it is what it is. I tried to make it transform a little bit, and the face is hidden, so I don't think it's too big of an issue. It does look a little more like a modern Beetle than a classic one. But what are you going to do? It's a LEGO Transformer. You gotta compromise at some places. But he's got some cool things to him. He's got the taillights back here, a little golden license plate right there. He does have the Autobot logo up here, which is nice. It's a bit more neatly done than it was on my LEGO Optimus video. And he doesn't have the clear headlights with the tinfoil anymore. I had to try to put that back together, and every attempt I tried just didn't work, so I did away with it and just did these solid, clear, rounded tiles, which look pretty cool. And he still has the silver wheels. They're painted silver, and I really like that. You can see what he looks like underneath. Everything fills in quite nicely. One thing I do want to show, this is his gun. This is the first Transformer I built that actually has clever weapon storage. So you just pull this right here, and it pulls out. You can see what it looks like. I did try to make it as accurate as I could. Obviously, G1 Bumblebee's gun didn't have a scope, but I figured I wanted to make it a little less bland, and this helps, when you pull it out. And I think it looks cool. It's not supposed to be black. I think his was like a grayish blue color. Obviously, I don't have any Legos in that color. I'm not sure Lego makes a lot of pieces in that color, but I don't think this looks bad. And I think it's kind of clever how it pegs up in there. If you can look in there, hold on one second. You can see those little hinges right there. They're those clip pieces. There's a gap between the clip hinge and the actual brick. And the tip of this cheese slope actually fits into there. So that holds it in place up there. And then this cone piece sort of friction fits there between the legs, and that holds it in place. It's really solid. It's not going to rattle around. And I like that. I think it's really clever. So removing it, you can see he is kind of hollow, but it's not too bad. Let's get some size comparisons in here. Here is the original, my first G1 Bumblebee. After building this guy, and surprisingly it only took me a couple days to get this guy built, and then I was out scavenging for all the pieces to get the colors all correct and tiling. But once it was all said and done, I did have enough pieces left over to sort of piece this guy back together. Obviously, he doesn't have wheels. These are the original wheels. I couldn't find any more of those. So, there you go. This is just, to show you the difference. He is a little bigger. About the same width, I think, if this guy still had the wheels. But you can just see how much of a huge difference there is. Like, you see with this guy, there's no windshield at all. I tried to pass this off as being a little windshield, and no, that doesn't work. That's not a windshield. I just think this guy looks a lot better. I'm still gonna keep this guy around because his transformation is a lot more simple. He's fun to just, well, his arm pops off. That's always a thing that happens. He's just fun to transform. He's really quick. I might just keep him as a desk toy or something. He's still pretty cool. I have a soft spot for him, but he's not gonna be my definitive B anymore. So there you go. And bringing in a real world comparison, here he's next to a deluxe figure. You can see he's not quite a deluxe. He is. Let me see if I can line it up for you. No, that's okay. He is a bit smaller than a deluxe, but not scale's not too off. I think maybe a Beetle would be a shorter car. I don't know. And one more comparison. Here he is next to my G1 Optimus Prime, so you can see how they look together. And I think they look really nice together. The scale, and I think scale-wise, this guy is a little big. As you saw, he is bigger than the original. Optimus hasn't really changed over the years in terms of size, but I don't think it's too bad. We'll see how they look next to each other in robot mode. Speaking of robot mode, let's get to the transformation. It is a little tedious. There's a lot of neat tricks to it, so we'll just jump right in. First, what you want to do is come right here, untab the sides of the car from the front of the car, and these are going to be his arms. Now you want to take these rear pieces, lift them up just a bit. You want to lift them up all the way because things will start to fall apart, but just get them enough out of the way to where you can hinge all of this up. Now what you want to do is take the arms, bring them down, and rotate them off to the side. Just like that, rotate them down. Try not to break anything off. There is quite a few clearance issues with this transformation, but it all works out in the end. So just get them off to the side. And then come back to the back here. You can see what all we've accomplished. And then the roof is a separate piece that comes up, just like that. And then this is a cool little thing that I've tried that I haven't seen anyone else try, probably because it's not accurate to the show, but I thought it would work better. You bring the windshield down, it comes out in two pieces, and splits apart just like that. So you can see it comes down, and it rotates off to the side. Now what you can do is bring these wheels all the way around to the back, and we'll work on the legs from here. So the legs, what you want to do is split them. This can be a little tricky part because they like to fall apart a lot. So let me see if I can get them separated. Yeah, they're gonna fall apart. So there's a lot of loose joints in the legs, but you can see they just tab together by that one little stud. And now we can work on the legs. So what you want to do, you want to bring them out. Well, first of all, let's come back here. Take this license plate, rotate it, and slide it all the way down. You want that out of the way. And then what you're gonna do is rotate the legs, or move them out, and then you're gonna, let me see if I can get the light in here. You're gonna rotate them 180 degrees. Just rotate. And then you can bring them down. I'm gonna adjust the camera. So now you have this jumbled mess, and you just want to bring the feet up. Be very careful when you do that because they like to break off a lot. Just like that. And he does have a little bit of an ankle tilt, so you can tilt the feet just a bit. Trying not to make anything break off. Alright, and now here's the real fun part. So you gotta take this, bring it down, make sure these are out of the way. And the legs come through the windshield. Just like that. And then they rotate up on this piece, and this stud right here is going to peg into the back of that. So just get all of that lined up and push it into place, and that makes everything a lot more solid. So now just push this license plate back so it's out of the way. Let's try to get him standing real quick. He's not going to be real sturdy right now because he's kind of back heavy during the transformation, but we'll fix that. Right. Now what you can do, straighten these pieces out, and you can slide them up just a bit if you want. It doesn't do a whole lot, it's just something I like to do. Just slide them up. And then the arms come forward. These are kind of cool. What you want to do is you want to straighten them out like this, rotate them down like this, rotate them at the forearm, slide them over, get that all the way over, and just bring them down all the way. And there's one arm. So, same thing on the other side. You have to straighten that out, bring that down, rotate, slide that out. Whoops. Got some weak joints in here. Just like that, and bring it down all the way. Now the last thing to do is the head. So you come around to the back here, take this what will be his faceplate, slide that up, and that's a really satisfying part of the transformation. I'll show you, because just pushing this piece back into place, I usually save that for the end, going back in the transformation, and it's so satisfying just pushing that into place. It's like it just slides into the car and just disappears. There, like that. Isn't that freaking awesome? Look at that, it's gone. Anyway, so you rotate the head around, and then you can rotate his faceplate into place. That's a hard thing to say. And then you have to rotate these pieces, but as you can see, they're not on the sturdiest connection. So what I usually do is I use the faceplate to just sturdy that piece and then rotate them into place. And these will be his horns. Really hard part to figure out when I was making the head for this guy. And then you just slide that into place. And there is my LEGO G1 Bumblebee in his new and improved robot mode. So when I initially started this new build for Bumblebee, I had a few things I wanted to do. First of all was make the vehicle mode look more like a car. I think I succeeded there. Second thing was giving him a more accurate head. And the third thing was giving him a bit more personality, making him look a little better. And I think I did a pretty good job with those. His head definitely looks a lot better, a lot more accurate. You can see how it looks there. It's got the horns there, which the original didn't even attempt. I'll bring him in real quick. You can see just how drastic the difference is. This guy barely even stands up. And you can see just how much more of a difference there is. This guy is way too chunky, way too just straight up and down, looks robotic. It looks very dull. This guy I think it looks more vibrant, a lot more personality to him, and he just blows this guy out of the water and out of the frame. Let's get him out of here. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this guy turned out. Now, he does have a bit of a backpack. The wheels just sort of sit back here. I couldn't find much to do with those. I wanted to base this guy off the Masterpiece toy as well, but I couldn't make everything work. This is what I had. This is what I could do, and I designed him in a few days. So I'm pretty happy with the way it turned out just based on that. One cool thing that this guy can do that none of my other Transformers can do is he can actually hold his weapon. You can see it has a handle there that just clips in right there. And surprisingly, that's not something I've ever been to do for my Transformers. And there you can see him holding his gun, and I think he looks really cool. He definitely looks a lot leaner, a lot thinner, but he still has that chibbiness that Bumblebee is supposed to have. And that's really what I was going for. Give him that chibbiness, but don't make him overly chubby like the first one was. And I think I succeeded in that regard. One thing I don't like about how this turned out is there's no place for the wheels to go. They just kind of stick out here on his feet and make his feet look too wide. But there's nothing really I could do with this design. You can see what the feet look like from the back there. You can see those hinges and how everything connects. I don't know why all the connections in here are weak connections. I'll have edited it out, but the feet fell off a lot of times in the transformation, and it's really annoying. I don't know why they're like that. But I think it's worth it in the end. I really like the way this guy looks. And now for the comparison anyone who's watched the video this far has been waiting for. Here he is, next to my LEGO G1 Optimus Prime. And there you can see how they look next to each other. And this is actually the first time I've had these two next to each other. And wow. Wow, these guys scale great together, I think. Yeah, this is actually the first time I've let myself see these two next to each other. And dang. I like this scale. I like how this turned out. This is neat. Alright, so in terms of articulation, he doesn't have a whole lot, but he definitely has more than he did before. The head still rotates. The arms go forward and back, but they are in this hinge piece that doesn't really tap in anywhere, so you gotta be careful with that. And the arms bend at the elbow, but the elbow joint is a little high up, so it does look a bit weird sometimes. And then the arms rotate in transformation. Nothing really at the legs, except for an in and out and a knee bend. They do go forward and back and rotate in the transformation, and that's about it for him. But it's decent articulation. It's enough. And as long as it's more than the previous version, I'm satisfied with it. And we'll just do one last comparison. And here you have him next to every Bumblebee toy I own. And if you can't tell already, he is my favorite character. I don't care what anyone says. And yes, I realize most of these are from the movie, but whatever, it's all I've been able to pick up. So anyways, there you go. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to like or comment telling me what you thought. If you didn't like the video, then I'm sorry, I did my best. If you want to see more of my Transformers, then feel free to just go to my channel. And if you like what you see, then feel free to subscribe. If you want to see version 1 of this guy, this one right here, his original video, then I'll put a link in the description below. And if you want to see someone else's interpretation of him, there's another YouTuber that goes by the name of Stupid Ninja that did his own variation of my original. I thought it was pretty cool. I'll put the link for that video in the description as well. And once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bring this hinge forward. That is just like that. Make sure nothing falls off like it just did. Wow. Wow. All these legs coming off.